Welcome to Make Millions Monetizing. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and share with others. And most importantly, I appreciate your viewership and y'all have a good day. Welcome back to Make Millions Monetizing. And what I want to talk about within this video, and be sure to subscribe and share with others if you haven't done so already, but what are the first steps required for making a monetization empire? Well, number one, you want to have that possibly what may seem like an overly inflated goal. That's why I say an empire. This isn't just a footprint, a small footprint within social media. This is an empire. You got to have that mentality. Something else when you're starting to create this monetization empire, something you need to do is be aware of future content. Because if you're too targeted, it's going to become a problem because you're going to be, let's just give an example here. So let's say Jim Bob's boat adventures. Now if Jim Bob goes out on an airplane, or maybe Jim Bob goes out on a four-wheeler or a snowmobile, Jim Bob's Boat Adventures is not really the best title for that. So you're going to want to think about this when you're branding, because day one, whether you realize it or not, day one, you're starting to build a brand. So you don't want to just say boats. You want to come up with a name that's all-encompassing. And that example is just using a vehicle. But this could be applicable to travel. This could be applicable to sports. So it wouldn't be Jim Bob's baseball channel. It would be Jim Bob's Sports Empire, something like that. I'm just throwing random things out here. So think about that. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. You're going to want to have a theme that's not too targeted, that allows additional things to become incorporated within that theme going forward. Because a mistake that a lot of people make when they create that presence that's too targeted, even though it may work well for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, there's probably going to become a point to where someone says, well, I've been so successful with this social media campaign, why don't I branch out and not just do boats? How about I get into gardening, just something way out there? So if you didn't have that all-encompassing umbrella name to begin with, that's going to create a couple of problems, because it would hit a point to where you no longer have that umbrella, because ultimately you want to have the umbrella that's all-encompassing. And then you can add offshoots. And we're going to go into more detail within future Make Millions Monetizing videos, but at a high level you've got the top of the umbrella. And that should be something that now and going forward, anything should be able to fall underneath that. Because you want that top of the umbrella, but you want the ability to explore yourself as a content creator, a monetized content creator. You want to have the opportunity to say, okay, boats, gardening, taekwondo, and they can all fit underneath that umbrella. So that's some food for thought there. And you're going to need to start out, you don't want to be, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. You don't want to be so hell-bent upon one particular idea. Because if you're creating a travel site and all you do is show videos of beaches, that may work really well. But don't limit yourself to not thinking about the products. Well, when you go to the beach, you use suntan lotion. You may have a surfboard. You may have a paddleboard. You may have that cooler that has non-breakable containers for carrying your favorite beverage to and from the beach. There's all sorts of components for monetizing more than just the stuff that's on the surface, like the beach video. How do you get to and from the beach? What's something that someone may want to use to help carry their beach chairs to and from the beach? How about when you're at the beach and you need to recharge your camera? Solar panels, portable solar panels, portable battery packs. So much stuff. And it's stuff that people that care about internet monetization will quickly realize that there's more to this than just a beach video. So in this example, you've created a beachy theme for your content, for your monetized content. So you may start out with a few beach videos, which would make sense. Draw people in with the beautiful scenery, and once you draw them in, those products come into play. Well, where do you stay when you go to this travel destination XYZ? That brings in another component. What's fascinating about internet monetization, and this is just how to make, how to build, how to create that initial, the building blocks for this monetization empire. So if you kind of think of where you may want to head, have a somewhat, and again, not too targeted of a theme, but go where your passion is. If it's travel, go after travel. If it's riding motorcycles, go after riding motorcycles. And then get into the offshoots, the motorcycle gear, the motorcycle camping. Hey, you go on a motorcycle trip, maybe you want to stop and camp. Well, while you're in camp, what do you need? You need to start a fire, you need food. It just goes on and on. And it's easy to take this right here. We could have a channel that's travel, that incorporates motorcycles, incorporates products that are for motorcycles that are also for travel, and just kind of blend it all together. Because if you find things that somehow connect, even though it's not on the surface, well, what does a motorcycle have to do with a beach? If you look at it from the perspective of, well, those kind of do tie together. And that's important from a social media empire perspective, which is ultimately what you're wanting to try to create because you're watching Make Millions monetizing. But it's important from creating a social media empire, because what you're doing is that you're identifying things you probably never thought about. Motorcycles, beaches, and then how about the gardening component? Well, when you're camping out at that beach because you rode your motorcycle there in the tent, which you can also promote. Oh, you can buy this tent here, or you can buy this whatever here. Oh, and by the way, I grew this food. I was able to grow this food in my own garden. Check out these tomatoes that I'm putting on my steak. Here's the recipe. Check out this seasoning that I'm using to season my steak. Oh, and how did I get the steak to and from the motorcycle to the beach and it not spoil? Check out this cooler. See how all of this blends together? Well, how did you grow that tomato or whatever that you're using on this in this steak marinade? Gardening how-to. It all blends together. Eating, travel, gardening. Well, you do all this eating and whatnot. How do you lose weight? There's a fitness component. It is possible for a willing individual to blend as much content into a package as possible. But again, to make the social media empire, to make that monetized empire, one must be willing to think outside the box. And again, this is just one of many videos on Make Millions monetizing. So be sure to subscribe, share with others, and I've got tons more coming soon. I'm just getting you in the mindset here. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. This may or may not work for you, but I want you to think and be entertained. Because if you can start to see this vision in your own head, that is the first step towards the possibility of success. It's an opportunity. There's no guarantees. There are no guarantees in life. But people, one thing that is guaranteed, if someone does not see an opportunity, they're not going to seize the opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with failure, because failure is a lesson learned to better enhance the possibility of future success. So think about it from that perspective. But in this video, what I want you to take away is that umbrella over your head. And be sure that when you start to, in your mind, when you're in the gym or when you're doing whatever activity, when you're thinking, think about that all-encompassing brand. Because it's that all-encompassing brand that's going to be your first essential building block to make this monetization empire. If it's not all-encompassing, you're starting out wrong day one. So remember that. And be sure to subscribe. And enjoy all of Make Millions Monetizing's content. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.